I'm 1430 WEEF, Highland Park, Northbrook, Chicago.
Maybe you ought to look at an alternative than punishing the kids.
And you try to get that past the teachers union, Tim.
Well,
give that one a whirl. No, and when I say that to you, I agree with you. You know, I agree wholeheartedly. You know, I remember back when I was a kid, because when I first went to college, I was thinking I was going to be a school teacher. Then I realized that it was a life of poverty. And I was like, I can't be a school teacher. It's not anymore.
Well, it is. We have 20
now,
years.
Now you can make a lot of money, and you can have a great pension. And
see, now we sound like we're anti-teacher.
No, and once again, you know, you can take any snippet out. I think teachers are super important. But now here, if this doesn't get someone to call up angry, then I don't know what will. But those who teach are those who can't. That's what I've always found. If you can't cut it out there in the business world, typically, what do you fall back on? Teaching.
We should get a
because you can't do it.
Any teachers in the house? 847-412-1420.
Yeah, really. I mean,
I don't agree. I strongly disagree.
I also disagree.
And you know what? I've managed groups of hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people, and you know what? It's not much different than teaching. Doing that, but at least I'm producing revenue.
Is a gift.
Producing revenue right now.
Yeah. Pardon?
You're teaching right now.
Oh, believe me, anyone who's going to learn anything from me is well beyond hope at this point.
I like the thing that Stephanie said about having the test. How do you test a parent?
Well, at the very least, if not test them beforehand, shouldn't there be some like parenting classes that are mandatory? Now, here I'm getting into the social engineering that I rant against, but realistically, there's so many. There's nothing wrong with learning. Hey, here's the changes that go on. You know, and realistically, let's take it a step further. Marriage. You know, when you get married, anyone can get married. You get a license. You don't have to take a test. You don't have to study a book. You don't have to do anything. And I think you see a lot of young couples that end up having kids and getting divorced. And why do they do that? It's mostly because the introduction of children into the marriage changes the relationship, and neither one of them are prepared for it. I mean, how many marriages have you guys seen where they get married, and all of a sudden the wife goes from girlfriend and all that to super mom, and they forget they have a husband. And then you get the husband who comes home and doesn't realize that, you know what, that home is the woman's place of work. You want to make your wife happy. All you young guys out there who recently have had children, if you want to have a nice relationship with your wife, don't bring her candy, don't bring her gifts. Come home, do the dishes. Clean the house.
I was going to say buy her. Were you going to say buy her a vacuum?
Give her some. Say, hey, here's an extra $50, $100. Get your girlfriend. Go out to dinner. I'll watch the kids tonight. You want to have a nice marriage. You want to, because guys don't understand that the home is a woman's workplace. They never feel like they're on a break. They don't.
Shouldn't it be shared?
I think we should close the window. I'm afraid we're going to get assassinated here.
What's wrong with that? Hey, all I can tell you is you ask any woman out there who's got kids, and you ask her when her husband comes home after work, plops his fat deer ear down on the couch and does nothing, how angry it makes him.
Paul, how many women don't work? How many women actually stay at home? Virtually, when we were kids, most moms stayed home. Virtually all of them work now. Can you name anybody who stays home with the kids?
Yeah, I can name about 6 of them on my block alone.
Well, I have 2 sisters that do, but they have nannies. One of them has 2 nannies, actually. So
we need to tax them more then.
Why don't we do a nanny tax? I didn't even think about that. I get a kick out of it because my mother raised 5 kids, and she worked, and she took care of us, and she did a really good job, put us through Catholic school. And I have a sibling who's more interested in who her tennis instructor is going to be than, and it's interesting when I think about how much it's changed. They have a whole completely different value system. My one sister I have great respect for. She lives in South Barrington. Every time I talk to her, she's running back and forth with the kids, and she's got them in essay or Barrington outside of the school. She's got them in sports, t-ball, baseball, soccer. There's all kinds of things. I just told her the other day, I said, give me their schedule and I'll plug it into my computer and I'll try to make the events. I think those things are very important. We didn't have those things growing up in the city. We didn't have any of them. You know, you can't go out every day and play baseball. I go out virtually every day with my son. We either fly kites, and it's actually how I met Chuck. Chuck and was out, and we were out riding on our bikes. We go out almost every day. Him and I go out almost every single day. I don't know. We're way.
Well, we're really
We're
started
off
with
subject.
the well,
We're
we're
off
not really
subject.
though, because we talked about the value-added tax, and what we sort of digressed into was, my point is sort of, at what point do we stop taxing for all these things, all these and when does it come back to the personal responsibility? And obviously, I'm opposed to any additional taxes on us. I'm against that. I think that people, I believe that the best way to stimulate our economy and fix things is to put more money back in the hands of the people who are working and let us spend it ourselves, not have someone else decide how it gets spent. So when I see another tax, once again, I see the government saying, we'll take care of it for you. You don't have to be personally responsible for this. You don't have to be personally responsible for that. We'll take care of it. Give us your money, and we'll fix it for you. And I'm against that. So I know we digress, but it all really does. For me, it's all the same discussion. It just broadens. You ready to move on?
Heads goes our next subject. Nearly half of households escape federal income tax. What do you think about that?
I don't think,
I know you're not one of them.
I don't
but-
think 47% is nearly half, as the headline reads. I think it's an unfair headline.
All right, well, 47%.
I don't have a problem with people not paying income tax. What I do have a problem with is that there are people that are actually getting money back from the government on taxes that they didn't pay. I don't have a problem with people not paying income tax because I believe that they're going to take that money and they're going to spend it. So I don't have a problem with that.
You want to elaborate on their getting money back from the government?
Sure,
for taxes
there's
that they
earned
didn't-
income credits. If
That's for children.
If you only paid $3,000, but you put all your stuff together, and your tax liability was less, greater, you can actually get a check from the government. Right. So if you put in $3,000,
But
you could get $1,000 back.
Do you realize what the earned income credit is? Do you know what that is?
No, explain it to me.
It's for women, mostly for single parents or people under a threshold of dollars. They get money more so for daycare. They get it to put their children in daycare so
Like
that they
that.
could work, and it's like a maximum, I think, of like $3,000 or $4,000 a year. So that's going. They're actually giving them money so that they can put their children into daycare. I mean, that's the purpose of it.
Yeah, I'm all for that. If you're out there working, I think that there's nothing wrong with giving a little help. But I thought I saw something in here that actually said that people get money back even if they haven't paid.
You should.
And more back. Yeah, let me see if I can find it again. I'll let you talk
Those
for a
are
minute. And I'll,
those are entitlement programs. Yeah, why don't you read that over?
all
There?
right, I'll look at it again.
I'm still getting over this social engineering and parent testing. I like that. How do you do that? It sounds like something you could do in China. I think China's constitution allows them to do that, actually. Wow. Okay. This is my head's spinning, but this is good.
So,
this is really good.
hold on.
I think what people are forgetting, and if you go back, I remember when, and I'm not that old, but I do remember when Ronald Reagan did I
Here.
think I just started voting when
Yeah,
Ronald
and
Reagan
let
became
me-
president.
Let me. I found this part in here. Let me just read this. It says the bottom 40% on average make a profit from the federal income tax,
National
meaning
Social
they get more money in tax credits than they would otherwise owe in taxes. For those people, the government sends them a payment. And Stephanie's going, yeah, I'm going to get me some of that money. No, what were you saying, Steph?
Well, I have a friend who's in her 20s, has multiple sclerosis. More than a quarter of her income, way more, went towards her medical bills than anything else. And she got as much as she could back from the government, from her income tax, mostly because of that. On what angle do you see that?
Dennis Miller says it the best, and that is, I have no problem helping the helpless. And I don't mean to call her helpless.